Good evening and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I am passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. That is step one, because we know that throughout history, most victims are afraid to speak up. And these abusers are going unchecked. But because we are in the year 2023 with video evidence all around, and these abusers have just been, doing this for forever and getting away with it, that they have become relaxed and have allowed their abuse to be videotaped, captured on videotape, and the old tricks and lies that they used to tell us and get away with when we didn't have anything to back it up with used to work. But now it's a new day, a new dawning where we use math and science with its truth and facts. And when abusers try to abuse us with lies and untruths, we fight back with facts, math, and science. And that's what we're doing over here. We have been coming together under the umbrella for justice for Shanquella Robinson, a young woman who lost her life October 29th, 2022. We got video evidence of it in November. And then we were told in April that there was not enough evidence. We have gone through a whole roller coaster of stories, different lies, different bologna, different dry bologna sandwiches from 2 different countries. This was a unique, oh, look at me. I still got these earbuds in. I just recognized that when I've got an email. Let me take these off here and find my case. All right, because these things without the case, is kind of a waste. But anyway, so keep it together, the case and thing, Bob here. So back to these lies that we were told. We were told lies from different countries because this incident happened in Cabo, Mexico. And in the beginning, Mexico was telling us one lie, right? Then we had good old US of A, or some people in the good old US of A telling some other lies. However, we know here that we are a powerful country and we just need to make sure that the right people are in charge with the right voice for the right people. And we can see now that the energy around the world is going more pro victims having a voice and stopping these abusers from getting away with this abuse with no, pushback. So what we doing over here is pushing back. Where it's no moments of silence, we do moments of speaking, where we speak out the names of victims, Shanquella Robinson, and we speak out the name of abusers, Cabo 6. All right, and so we've been going on that, and we did get a low blow. We got a low blow with some more lies. When what's so painful about being told a lie, especially when it's right in the face of the truth, it's almost like an insult. It's almost like an insult. It's an insult. It really is. But I thank y'all for coming over here tonight. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old, a proud Gen Xer, a proud mom of 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes and 1 XX. And we are here today being challenged with the fact, challenging biology, math, science, truth, all the same thing. Because these are things that are, like I said before, the truth is the truth. The truth doesn't need explaining. The truth doesn't need to have a story to support it. The truth just is. So that's what we do up here: math and science and truth, and that's what we've been trying to stick by. Even though the lies and everything are blatant, we are, especially us mature ones, know that this is the kind of stuff that's happening each generation, the same stuff, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Like, this is the same stuff. Like, they have these agendas that they are pushing. There's an election coming up, and now this whole incident is going to be put out there. And I do believe, as though some of you are all you guys, some of you do as well, believe that the reason why Shanquella's not getting any justice is due to the fact that she was a Black woman, a Black woman, and the alphabet community, was connected, and the protected type of energy that's going out there with this whole woke culture, which we are seeing that more and more people. It's more of us that disagree with this whole thing than agree with it. And we see that, this whole delusional thinking and the people behind it and all that stuff, and the people that are allowing it, all these things are coming to light. Just like some of y'all have said in the comments that, these things, the wicked people are going to pay for, like, these dark secrets are going to come to light and all that stuff. This is more proof that it's actually happening. Like, I want to say, was it yesterday when when I was talking about the transgender kid, Jazz, or young adult person. Anyway, sometime recently, I was talking about that, all these things tying in together and stuff like that. And I'm just excited because tonight's show, we're going to go, y'all see the title. The title, RN says, using death certificate versus autopsies as a defense strategy in Shanquella Robinson case. And I remember back in the beginning when this first came out, it was brought to the media's attention, the death certificate was all that we had, right? And I remember John Q had came on the show. I want to say it was November the 28th or something like that. It was in the end part of November, and made us aware of that wasn't an autopsy report that was being reported on the news, that it was actually a death certificate. And at the time, he did say, a mention about what the difference was and all that stuff. Then we found out that it was a necropsy, just all these other little different, distractions and stuff like that. And I remember saying that, we weren't going to be concerned with which report it was, that we were going to be concerned with the cause of death, right? And that it didn't matter the cause of death, whether it came from the autopsy or the death certificate. We know that the cause of death was severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. That's what we're saying all over, that what was being said. So my, curiosity, I started to, do a little bit more research, because I kind of forgot what the whole, difference was. And I know that that's how they get you distracted with these little slight differences, right? So in the beginning was the death certificate, and then we had autopsy report from Mexico, autopsy report from America, or whatever, like that, right? So first, I'd like to just read to y'all the difference between what a death certificate is. I was going to put it in the description, but it's so long. Before I get started, let me just go ahead and greet my people over here. Hello, beauties and beautifuls. I got members up in here. What's up, Tommy Rhodes? Yes, justice for Shanquella Robinson now. That is so true. It's so true. Who would think that, now we're going on 6 months into this whole thing. But like I said, I'm really believing that this is going to be something that they're going to use to, like I said, we come over here together to leverage, once we get the justice for Shanquella Robinson, because we will leverage that to have a voice to get justice for other victims and to decrease incidents of future victims by shining a light on abuse and calling out when we see it. Like yesterday or whatever day that was, I was talking about the Munchausen syndrome. By proxy, these people are abusing these children and, doing all this stuff. So anyway, that's going to be another, that's something that still needs to be talked about and dealt with. She's need a voice. All right. Hey, what's going on? Another member in the house, Sharon here. So we got all that good stuff going here. And one thing I want to make sure I don't neglect is to bless our chat, since we really looking for, the blessings to be able to keep this voice going, because they can't keep, trying to subdue us or tone it down, right? Eventually our voice is going to be heard, because the truth stands alone. A lie always needs to be defended and, reinforced. It's like I said before, you cannot dam the ocean. It's impossible, right? Because the water's just going to go around. So that's what happens when these liars are trying to lie with stories and stuff. It's impossible, because all you have to do is stand on the truth. Just stand on the truth. Stand on the truth, right? Okay, so first we're going to bless our chat with our Acts of Faith. Acts of Faith, book by Yana Van Zett, a daily meditation for people. Iana is a Yoruba priestess, a cultural custodian, wrote a lot of books back in the 90s. This one's copywritten back in 93 and is very helpful today as it was yesterday and forevermore. All right, so today is the 30th, April 30th. Wow. And so we know that next month, May 19th, there's going to be a march in Washington that RN Tribute will be there for May 19th for the march for Shanquella Robinson. We supporting her family because her mama said we still fighting, we still moving on. So April 30th says, when you are down and out, lift up your head and shout, I'm out of here. And that is from Lynette Harris. And Iana says, I'm out of here. It really is just that simple. There comes a point in life when you get tired of feeling and doing and looking bad. When that time comes, you move on instantly. I'm out of here is an affirmation, a statement of truth. It gives power to your decision to no longer be where you are physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm out of here puts the world on notice that you have a commitment to be better, have more than you have right now. That I'm out of here. Make a budget and payment plan. Stick to it. Illness, I'm out of here. Take responsibility, not pills, for your ails, for what ails you. Find out what you are doing that is not good for you and stop. Lousy job, I'm out of here. Figure out what you like to do, want to do, and what you are good at and do it. Struggle, I'm out of here. Do not beat up yourself. Do not criticize yourself. Above all, do not limit yourself. Pick yourself up, put yourself on a path, and let yourself know, I'm out of here. Yes, all right. I'm out of here. Yes, I am. I'm out of here. Come on, y'all, clap your hands. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I am out of here. Yes, I am. I'm excited about being out of here, right? Because y'all know, if y'all been following me from the beginning, we went through all kind of emotional, times when it was just couldn't even get through the beginning without needing the Kleenex, full of emotions. And then there was outrage and all this good stuff. So now it's time to put the big girl undies on and go out and fight. Like I said before, I wasn't thinking I'd be political, but like I said, politics is what is needed, right? We know that 45% of women don't even exercise the right to vote. So if y'all look in the description box, and as y'all can see lately, I have been dropping links for how to vote, how to register to vote, because I thought about it. When I registered to vote, the year was 1992, and I'm sure it was on paper, on paper. And yeah, so I was thinking, like, I don't know, maybe people aren't registered to vote because people may not know how. I know years ago they did make it a little mysterious on how to be able to do it. So I want to make it super easy for anyone who is not registered to vote or who doesn't know which way to go. Click in the description box and click on any one of those links and get set up, get registered to vote, because that's how we're going to make sure we get out of this and we get justice, right? We see the folks that's in charge now, how they feeling about the whole thing. All right, so we got some more folks showing up in here. So first thing we're gonna do, hey, Sharada Niche, ooh wee, hello there. I see you got you a new pick up there. I like it. All right, she says hello, beautiful RN and community. Hey, nice to see you again. And looking all summery. All right, what's going on? All right, another new name or maybe an old name. You see, Leonetta Young says, good evening, RN. Hello, everyone in the chat. Yes. So first we're going to define, we're going to read here. I'm going to read it off to y'all. The difference between the autopsy and the death certificate, because that's where the key is, y'all. Like, I want to tell the mama, Miss Alamandra, you ain't got to go exhuming the body, none of that stuff. They lying, they trying to distract you. The death certificate says it all. That is evidence enough. Here we go. Let me just go ahead and share this here so y'all can see what I'm reading here. This is from the research that I did on the answer. It says, a death certificate and autopsy are two different things. A death certificate is an official document issued by a medical practitioner or a coroner that records the details of a person's death, including the date, the time, location, and cause of death. Okay, I'm just going to stop right there just to highlight the fact that this says an official document issued, right? Official document issued. Look, think about those words. I'm going to come back to that later after I finish reading this stuff. But the death certificate is an official document issued, right? So document issued, important words, super important. There you go, right? And so it's issued and it records the details of a person's death, including date, time, location, and cause of death. It is usually required for legal and administrative purposes, such as settling the estate of the decedent, obtaining life insurance benefits, or for statistical data, right? On the other hand, an autopsy is a medical examination performed by a pathologist to determine the cause of death, right? Right. So just in this little part alone, nothing is official, right? Nothing's official and nothing is issued, right? An autopsy is a medical examination performed by a pathologist to determine the cause of death. An autopsy can provide a detailed analysis of the decedent person's organs, tissues, and bodily fluids to determine the cause of death. It can also identify any underlying medical conditions that may have contributed to the person's death. So while a death certificate records the cause of death, let me read that one more time. So while a death certificate records the cause of death, an autopsy is a medical procedure that investigates the cause of death. In some cases, an autopsy may be required to determine the cause of death, especially when the death is sudden, unexpected, or suspicious. Okay, so the things I wanted y'all to focus on is that this death certificate, which was what we got in the beginning for Shanquella, right? The coroner's report that said the official document that's issued, right, listed that cause of death as a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, and said that 15 minutes after receiving that injury is death. So the rest of this whole blah, 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 blue stuff that Mexico is saying, that the so-called North Carolina FBI office, field agent officer, whatever, saying is a dry bologna sandwich. It doesn't matter because the official issued report of the death stated what the cause of death was and how much time that she had. So the rest of the little stuff is blah, blah, blah. And the death certificate is the one that everybody gets. The autopsy are electives after the fact. If there's something in, if the cause is undetermined in the death certificate, which it wasn't. It listed the injuries that caused the death. It also listed the time of death, because it knows that if someone received the neck dislocation, that they, without oxygen and it being put back together, 15 minutes, it's a fatal injury, period. You're done. You're done. So all that little fluff with those big long paragraphs and essay papers that they wrote don't mean nothing. It's just a distraction so they can cast doubt. But there is no need for that, because the death certificate, which is the official document, had no problem with listing what the cause of death was, right? So all that talk about them saying they can't determine what it was is, like I said, a bologna sandwich. What y'all saying out here? Y'all got something to say about Janice says, truth be told, everything is evidence-based on math and science. That is so right. So right. But I thought that was interesting, when I went on and just got the information on this actual difference, because I was like, wait a minute. How can it be 3 different reports with 3 different answers, right? We got 2 different autopsies and a death certificate. And so, with trying to do the research on that, it had to come up that, well, a death certificate and an autopsy are 2 different things. So the one that would have the most weight is the death certificate, because this is coming from, it's official. That's the key word right there. Official. So we already know that those reports can be tailor-made. They can get it to say whatever. If the defense wants to cast some shadow of doubt, they can, get the autopsy by the, whatever medical person that they want to say. Even the one video, the lady said opinion, didn't even say diagnosis, because the death certificate already stated something. They're banking on the facts that we're just going to be, dodo birds and just accept, and not know that we had already know about the death certificate that said severe spinal cord injury and the atlas luxation. We already know about that. So, they're just trying to distract us with Sharon said it was Friday. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. It was Friday. I know why I got distracted off of that too, because I literally stayed up for almost 24 hours. So when I did wake up Friday night, there was no way that I was going to go back. Yeah, thank you, Sharon. That is exactly right. It was Friday night, and Saturday is a blur. I don't even know what happened on yesterday, but obviously I did not go up here. Thank you, Sharon, for keeping up with that calendar. Let's see. Hey, new name here. Alexandria James says, hey, RN and beauties. Alexandria, if she say that, she must have been here before from back in the day. Welcome back, Alexandria. And Leonetta said, I think if they would have offered a reward, the truth would have come to light. My thing is this, the truth was already in the light on the video. Why are they, saying that that's not there? Why are they saying that the sky ain't blue? That's what I'd like to know. PM Channel says, hello at All Around Natural Beauty RN. Moderators all in the chat. Y'all all up in here. What's up, Melanie? Melanie says, hey, too. Hey, what's going on, Karen? Karen, my member mod here says, at All Around Natural Beauty RN. Good evening and hello, everyone. And she got some emojis going there and all that good stuff. So that was what I want y'all to see on that little death certificate. So I was like, oh, they tried to trick us with that. I almost fell for it too. I was just like, wait a minute, how is this happening? But they do that little switcheroo and slide the thing in there when no autopsy was even needed because the coroner's report had already listed the cause and time of death. So if they want to try to say it's in, I don't know if they're trying to say they can't decide on the manner. All we have to do is play the video where we can match up the injuries listed on the official death certificate, the officially issued death certificate. See, that's what I'm saying. We got to get political on them, y'all. Y'all can't fool us with that. There is an official death certificate listing the injuries that caused Shanquella Robinson's death. Official issued. It was officially issued. Y'all trying to play us, but we smart. We got math and science. Bam, right? We just pull out the video. We pull out the video. Yes. All right. Let me see if I needed to read a little bit more on there. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna get started with our foist video. And like I said, so this here we going back first, and then we gonna we'll pull up those the bogus little documents and stuff like that. Which really I don't even think we have to do that, because once we understand that the death certificate already lists everything, we could do that. We could do that there. Let's see. So I got that there. Let's see here. Our first video. Which one I said I want to do first? Oh yeah, okay. So like I said, we going back to November when this thing first came out. What the folks were saying. All right, let me pull that back. All right, so this here. All right, let me go ahead share the screen here. All right, that's why I'm so grateful that oh yeah, proud Gen Xer, right? Because what's so good about being a Gen X is that we was here before the internet. So we are. That's what make us, look for stuff so hard because we was part of the time when we had to rely on the encyclopedia, dictionary, and all that good stuff, right? Oh, then too, I want to show y'all another little video too that so help us rule out that first let me just show y'all the date. Look at there. November 25th, 2022, right? This was November 25th. All right, let's go here. And this here is from ABC News.
An arrest warrant has now been issued in the mysterious death of an American in Mexico. Last month, 25-year-old.
Wait a minute, let me make sure y'all can hear this. Yeah, all right, let me turn it up something. All right, so here we go.
Shanquella Robinson died while on vacation with friends. She went to Cabo October 28th and was dead the next day. ABC's Victor Oquendo reports Robinson's family is demanding answers.
Tonight, authorities in Mexico issuing an arrest warrant in the mysterious death of 25-year-old American tourist Shanquella Robinson. Local officials have not yet named the person, but they're calling them a direct aggressor against the Charlotte native and have initiated a request for extradition from the United States. In video that is too graphic to show, one of Robinson's acquaintances can be seen physically attacking her inside the room of the Cabo resort where they were vacationing last month. According to local reports, on October 29th, one of the guests staying at the resort called for help around 2 p.m. Upon arriving, medical professionals were informed that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. A doctor reportedly said she was stable but dehydrated, suggesting she may be treated at a hospital. The guests insisting she remain at the villa. A police report stating Robinson went into cardiac arrest and was declared deceased around 6 p.m.
All right, so remember, here we go. There that saying, there go. Secretary of Health death certificate. Look at there. Official. An official document. Well. And two, let me just pull back a little bit here because I wanted to interrupt, but I didn't. Pull back just a little taste here. It's only a little 2-minute video. All right, so just to show y'all, when I was telling y'all how the doctor, ain't no way in the world a doctor would do all this stuff. All right, so here, how the doctor
treated at a hospital. Right. The guests insisting. A doctor reportedly said she was stable but dehydrated, suggesting she may.
Stable but dehydrated. How did the doctor make a diagnosis of dehydration? Y'all, it's real hard to get a doctor to narrow down to a diagnosis without doing some type of test, right? So in order to diagnose dehydration, you have to run some kind of labs. So, and then dehydration is not a stable condition. First off, how did the doctor come up with the diagnosis of dehydration without taking any type of labs? How did the doctor make that determination, right? And what doctor would say that? And if a real doctor thought it was dehydration, they would not be, first of all, they wouldn't even say that without having some type of information, some type of labs that they can say this is how they make the diagnosis, because otherwise, how are they going to, how do they rule out that it's dehydration? This is how you can tell this is somebody who's not a medical professional would report this stuff. But to lay people, this sounds plausible. They say, oh yeah, okay, well, the doctor said she was dehydrated, and the Cabo 6 said, no, don't take her to the hospital. There's nowhere where a doctor would deem a person needing to go to a hospital and would accept anything, any statements, any pushback from some lay people. There's no way. They would just be calling 911 to get the person off for help. That's my disclaimer act right there. So let's going to get back and finish here with this here video. Let's see here. There's that video right there. Let me go and take off this here disclaimer so y'all can see. All right, let's go and finish here. I just want y'all to see here, line number 1, stable but dehydrated. These are contradictions right here. This is not, this is fake, right? And they said this was you know, what Mexico was reporting back in November, right?
May be treated at a hospital, the guests insisting she remain at the villa. A police report stating Robinson went into cardiac arrest and was declared deceased around 6 p.m.
Okay, declared deceased around 6 p.m. And again here, this is Mexico still trying to throw the blame on the Cabo 6, right? Because they originally let them go, right? They let them go. They let them go. They let them go, right? All right, now here we go with this here official issued document.
But those reports differing from an autopsy obtained by ABC News stating that medical professionals arrived at the villa around 3 p.m. and declared her dead within 15 minutes,
Wow.
citing that Robinson died from a severe spinal cord injury
Wow.
and a dislocated neck.
Okay. So they're saying even that if the medical professionals arrived there, declared her dead in 15 minutes. So that means they tried to check for, something and they said done, dead. Why? Because of the dislocated neck. Dislocated neck.
But this to happen to her is just terrible. I just couldn't believe it. It's like I'm still asleep, like a nightmare.
That was Victor Oquendo reporting. The FBI is now conducting their own investigation. The suspect's name has not been released. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great.
Okay, so he said that the FBI is conducting their own investigation, right? Right? Not that an autopsy had been done or is in the midst of being done. This here was done November the 25th. This came out November the 25th. November the 25th. Oh, what is this? A full story. Let's see where this goes. All right, because this here was back from November 24th. Let's see what this is talking about. Oh, it ain't let me show y'all. Hold up. Or is it a video? Let me see. All right, it didn't follow over there with me, y'all. Let me see here. Let me stick to the little plan here. Okay, I just thought that was something to see that there. Let me get off of that. Get back over there. Okay. So that was our first story that we showing there on from November 25th, right? And that's when we was everybody, right? Everybody's on board. We seeing the thing. Everybody was making all these videos. We, looking for the Cabo 6, all that good stuff. So that's one. Then we go here. Okay, now this here is FBI. This video is going to be dated November 18th. All right, let's see what the FBI was talking about November 18th. No, wait, hold up, y'all. My bad. All right, here we go. We got to see what the FBI The FBI, that's one good thing about, sticking with the truth, because like I said before, the truth always remains the same. It doesn't need any explanation. It just is. So they may, a lot of times you can't remember all the lies that you told, because, a lie is a lie. So it's hard to remember that because, but anyway, here we go. So let me show y'all the date so y'all don't think I'm, look at that. November the 18th. Y'all see that? November the 18th. This is Queen City News, says FBI Charlotte Fields office opens investigation into the death of Shanquella Robinson in Cabo. Okay. Let's see what they was talking about.
Some breaking news just into our newsroom within the past hour. We're learning that the Charlotte FBI field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation in Cabo, Mexico back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about Shanquella Robinson's mysterious death last week. As anchor Morgan Francis reports, police investigating the case are sharing what they've discovered so far.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shanquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who said Shanquella Robinson had alcohol.
Wait a minute. Two friends at the villa. When Mexico sent their little message back via Sue Ann Robinson, the attorney, the two witnesses were Cabo workers. Where are the statements from these two, from the two Cabo 6 people? Did y'all hear what she said? Let me pull it back just a wee bit. Go back right here. These just look too many videos.
Interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo.
Who interviewed two friends?
What happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo.
Which officer? What officer? From what jurisdiction? This Mexican officer who interviewed two friends? Did they say? Go back to y'all. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Let me see. Go back a little bit more.
So far.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shanquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th.
Mexico ought to be ashamed of themselves. They lied to us. Y'all that dumb, y'all can't see a crime scene when you fall into the lap of one. They lied to us.
9th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who said
so that means the Mexican, because that's what she said. Said Mexican authorities said that Shanquella people lied, and Shanquella friends, these Cabo 6, they lied to us. They lied to us. So why didn't Mexico give that interview from these two friends over, right? They withholding evidence, or did they forget that they told us that they had interviewed two of the friends? They must have forgot that.
Shanquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The same story her family says they told them.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poison. They couldn't get a pulse.
It wasn't until her autopsy came back that Mexican police discovered she had a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which is instability in the uppermost vertebra.
All right, so I don't know if it was on this video or the one we just saw, where they said that medical personnel arrived and pronounced dead 15 minutes afterwards, stating a broken neck, a dislocated neck, right? So this lets us see here Mexico, another big lie. If the medical personnel arrived there after 3 p.m. and quickly declaring her deceased, how can Mexico tell us that the Cabo Six lied and got away? They knew that then, right? They just said that. That's why I'm saying all we got to do is go by the official document, right? The only one that's official is that death certificate. So, to all these little bogus little autopsies. They think we stupid.
Vertebrae. They also didn't see this video showing Robinson get violently assaulted until Wednesday. For that reason, their investigation is still open and they're looking into her death.
There's a huge financial incentive to keep Cabo open and to keep people feeling safe. So to the extent they can find, prosecute, incarcerate the people that did this, in my opinion, they're going to try to do it.
Kurt Kearns is an international attorney with experience litigating international crimes and investigations.
What happened to him? Where he at? Let's hear again what he said. Because I do remember back in the day, back in November, multiple different attorneys were saying that, the FBI could do blah, 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 or they can charge and do, like I said, y'all, I got over 30 years of nursing experience. So all this here legal talk is something new that, I dropped my spine, that, I'm just getting off into. Let's see here. Sharon said, I didn't think I would be going down this route either, RN. It was revealed to me a year and a half ago, but I couldn't see it at that time. However, it's been made very clear to me now. Yes. And Sharon is referring to now we getting political. Like I said, y'all, we getting political. Come on, get political. We getting political. Let me see your vote count. Make your vote count. You know what I'm saying? We got to do that. So I feel you on that, Sharon. I wasn't thinking either, but that's all we got. They didn't push us in the corner when they smacked us in the face and said there wasn't enough evidence. So we got no choice. You know what I mean? Sometimes that you ain't going to look for the fight, but the person, they did the thing. So you ain't got nothing to do but to, do the fisticuff. So that's what we're doing here. By any means legally necessary.
He has to say might not be the most promising news.
It's a sovereign state. So that's the first misunderstanding a lot of people have, is that, hey man, if I'm an American and I'm in trouble somewhere, boy, they'll come to my rescue. And the reality is not unless there's a really big interest internationally in coming to your rescue, because they will not upset international relations with a sovereign nation just to help out.
The police officer investigating the case tells Queen City News if they find evidence that leads to an arrest, they have authority to bring the group back to Mexico and, quote, they will have to answer to Mexican law. While the FBI and U.S. State Department say it's not their jurisdiction, it doesn't mean they can't investigate either.
Upon invitation, FBI can come in and assist.
He said upon invitation. And when did I say this happened? November 18th. November 18th was when they said they got on the case, right? So if they just got on the case November 18th and they already saying, hey, look, it really ain't us, why would they have done an autopsy on November the 18th? They just got the case, right? They just said they would look into it. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. So after we play this, I'm going to fast forward to the little bogus autopsy that they put out there and see the dates. It don't add up, right? If this here is November 18th and they talking about, we own the case, but it really ain't our jurisdiction, how and why would they have done an expensive autopsy back in November? Come on, y'all. Come on, people.
Upon, invitation.
See, look even how he's saying it, upon invitation, like, he know and they ain't trying to do nothing. Because it's too much money involved. And they counting on us to just let the thing die down. Nothing was going to be done. They only talking this little stuff because the video got out.
State Department can get more and more involved, but it's only upon invitation, i.e., do they want us there?
That was Morgan Francis reporting. Police again are urging anyone with information to contact the local FBI office, and they will relay that information onto Mexican authorities. Some breaking news just into our news.
That was a total accident there. Okay. Yeah, right? Okay. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, so I'm just super duper. I supposed to do this here. All right, so my bad. There we go. I'm back here. Yeah, so I'm just totally happy here. Said, is it buffering for anyone else? There's something wrong, I think. Yeah. They want to shut us down. They trying to silence us. Jeanette Jenkins says, people get registered to vote, get a valid ID, and know exactly where their voting places is, because in states led by Republicans, they have passed laws making it harder for Black people to vote. Yes, and that's exactly why I put over here in this description box. Let me share the screen here with you all so y'all can see what I've done. Because, since the beginning of the time, they've always made it difficult for Black folks to vote. And then what happens is, like the old little scientific project where they put a flea in a glass jar, and the flea would jump up, hit the glass ceiling. That's hence the term glass ceiling. Hit the top of the glass ceiling and would be conditioned to only jump so high to where it wouldn't hit the top. After conditioning it by keeping the lid on for so long, the flea would only jump so high. Even after removing the glass, the flea still continued to only jump so high. And all that to say is that we have been conditioned to just, throw our hands up and complain. Just be like, oh, the government, and oh, they did, and oh, all this stuff. Oh. When the jar is off, we can jump, we can do what we need to do now. So register to vote. And this is what I've done to make it easy. Like I said, when I registered to vote back in 1992, stuff was on paper. So I have dropped this here link. It's in my community tab also. Here says, here are clickable links for steps on how to register to vote. So you can click on any of these links here. This one here is register to vote, USA.gov. This one here is other deadlines. Eligibility. You can click on any one of these. This will lead you to where you need to go to get registered to vote. Once you register, please click the box to register as a Republican. The Democrats are the reason why we're in this really deplorable condition that we're in now, where we have, biological males, XY chromosomes, given rights to be in private spaces for biological XX chromosome females. And there are cases out there already where biological females have been injured, SA'd by these biological XY chromosomes, who's walking around with delusional thinking, masquerading and getting access and putting women and children in very vulnerable conditions. The Democrats support this kind of stuff, and Republicans are fighting to get these things down. However, Black people have been conditioned to vote for the Democrats, and they are not on our side. They ain't on our side, right? So register to make sure you are voting as a Republican, because in some states, like I said, they try to make things difficult, and you have to already have been registered as a Republican for X amount of time. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Click on these links here and find out the rules and all that stuff, and do the right thing by registering to vote, right? Because petitions signed by 40,000 registered voters have a lot more power than 40,000 people signing, right? Just 45 people signing that's not contributing to the country here, right? You want to be a proud American and really demand to get these rights exercised. The reason why they can keep us from exercising our rights is because we just give up. And then we just blame shift. Oh, it's because the white man is keeping us down and all that stuff. The jar has been lifted. Jump, Flea, jump. Jump. All right, so that's what we're doing here. We jumping in the name of Shanquella Robinson. We keeping it hot for Shanquella, right? We using this as an opportunity because we can see that this kind of stuff is still going on, right? Still going on. All right, so let me get on back over here to work. And now we saw the past. What y'all talking about some stuff over here? I see this thing over here lighting up. How y'all doing over here? How y'all feeling about this being political? So, like I said, there's no shame to, like, I want to see us joining together. Like I said, I saw some research that said 45% of women don't vote. So we can't just say it's Black people that's not voting, women in general, and we're the ones that's needing to get this voice lifted up. So if you are a woman, you really need to be registered to vote. You really need to be voting for the party that is going to be looking out for women, that's going to be standing up. They're letting these transgenders get off into women's sports. And, I mean, I never thought that we would live in the day that this would be happening, right? I mean, that, this here would get, but they anyway, I'm still, trying to find my voice here and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you have to just stand up for the truth. You have to stand up for the truth. That's just how it's going. All right, so I did that 1, 2, and see what was 3. Number 3 is okay. All right, so we still in the past, y'all. Work with me here. All right, this here is going to be another old. Let me take that off. We're still in the past. I'm going to bring us up to the future, but it's important that we get the foundation here in the past, because this is when it was fresh. This is when nobody knew what lie they had to tell to, get people to believe the lie, right? So this was before we was poking the holes in the store, or pointing out the hole. We didn't even have to poke holes in it. The holes were just there. All right, so this here is, let's see here. Uh-oh. All right, so this here. Okay. Again, this here is going to be dated. Uh-oh. Okay, November 17th. All right, here, let me just go over here. Share the screen. All right, and then this is her papa. All right, this here is from WRAL. Oh, it's more Charlotte stuff. All right, so Charlotte got a whole bunch of stuff. They got some explaining to do. This here is November the 17th. Right? Let's hear what they were saying, what everybody was saying back November the 17th.
A nightmare, man. It's I can't even sleep. I'm just frustrated. My heart is just aching, man. And as a father, man, a praying man,
Bernard Robinson is begging for answers about how his daughter,
Oh,
Shanquella,
baby.
died last month in Cabo.
I just want some truth because this don't even add up right.
He says he and his wife were told Shanquella died of alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy says she died due to injuries to the spinal cord and neck. A video has now also surfaced showing someone attacking Shanquella.
Through the grace of God, I think I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, sir. God God not gonna fail. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
Information out of Cabo authorities has been difficult to obtain, so I called phone numbers associated with all of her friends who went on the trip.
Huh.
The subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
Most of the
That's November 17th, right? So they already got their little plan in motion. Plan in motion. Already, go ahead and abort, abandon ship. They got up out of there.
the numbers are now disconnected, but two of them went straight to voicemail.
Sorry, mailbox is full.
I texted both of them and also paid them a visit since they have Charlotte addresses. No one answered at the first store, and the same with the second. And while no one was home when I rang the doorbell this afternoon, a neighbor did tell me this morning they spotted CMPD outside this person's home.
All right, so then that is the Charlotte PD that was apparently going to these people's houses November the 17th.
I sent an email to CMPD asking why they were there. CMPD says they are not involved in the investigation since the case happened in Mexico.
Wow.
I also sent an email to the records division asking for a police report, and I was told it will take 24 hours for it to be available. As Channel 9 continues to seek answers, so does Shanquella's dad.
Wow.
I'm not giving up. I am not giving up. I'm very confident that I'm gonna have a peace of mind.
Wow. Okay, so that was it on that. Wow. Wow. All right. PM Channel says at Sharon Kennery and Sharad Janice and Karen, I'm supposed to have a moderator wrench. You don't have one? All right, let me see here. PM Channel. You got one? What are you talking about? Let me see. I must have missed something. I can do it. Not sure if there's an error. You got one? I'm looking at you right here. See here. You got one? There you go, PM Channel with a wrench right there. What you talking about? I must have missed something over here. Let me see here. All right, let me get this. This is weird. All right, let me get back over here to just me. All right, so Janet says, good evening. Y'all saying some good evening stuff over there. Let's see here. Hey, Sandra Agi says, where did Biden get these people? It doesn't seem they're qualified. Yeah, these people puppets. They got puppets up in here. What's up, Arnie? Arnie is saying justice for Shanquella Robinson. Hey, Shadow. All right, it's good to see you here. Let's see here. PM Channel. Hey there. Sometimes she will surprise you like that. Oh, did you not supposed to have one? Yeah, so I don't know. Welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel. Where yeah. I thought you had one. Anyway, love y'all. And see, Janice says, while everyone is mad at President Biden, who didn't make the decision? It was Black women in New York FBI field agency that exactly made the decision. Yes, those brainwashed individuals. Let's see here. Who didn't make this? It was Black women. Yeah. Oh, they're making them the scapegoat. Yeah, no, we're gonna be checking our people too, right? You know, for being did I read that? Oh yeah, I did. All right, so I hear you. Shadow says, does the death certificate have a written signature? I don't know. Let me see if I don't know. It's a good question. However, like I said, it is an official document. That is what did we say the thing was? Official document. It's the only one that's official. Official document issued, right? So this here official document, the death certificate was issued to Shanquella Robinson's family, right? That was issued to them. And all these other little autopsy reports were not official, and they were not issued to the Robinson family. Y'all said, thank you. All right. I don't mind. Wanted to make sure. Oh, okay. Something must have happened. You must have done something to show yourself that you should have been a person with a wrench in the chat, maybe some times ago or something, PM channel. So thank you so much for your loyal, for all your hard work. All your hard work. So Janice says, tell them, Ariane, we already have the death certificate with the cause of death. Exactly. Yep. So yeah, we don't get up. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They just trying to get us distracted and all that worry. There was no need for y'all to do no autopsy when the death certificate had already listed it and showed that it was a 15-minute lifespan afterwards. Y'all just trying to get us so we can be like, oh, okay. And it's almost working because, that one last video we heard the mom called it a fight because they didn't just swooped her around so much and gaslit her. She dizzy with confusion and don't really know how to explain that. No, we just witnessed my daughter being taken up out of here physically, right? So we saw that. So we did 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I wanted to play this video here because this came out back when that story came out through the Metro Prolex MX with Geraldo's started with all those Mexican stories and stuff. And this was a video that came out during that time of verifying facts and stuff like that. So at the time, I just found this today. So I wanted to play it out here because I was somebody who was reading off that story and, shared it on a few videos on this here channel. So want to do the responsible thing here and show y'all how they had slipped this here lie in and how I'm not the only one that ran with it or, believed it. Believed it. All right. Fact checking viral claims in Shanquella Robinson's death case. This was December the 1st, 2022. Because remember, back in the end of November, they had said that Dejanay had been arrested and was waiting extradition, and Interpol had all this stuff, right? So this here video is going to give me a thumbs up. Tell you how you can tell they're telling a lie.
Robinson's family continues to search for answers in the death of their daughter. Some are claiming a suspect has been arrested in the case. The 25-year-old Charlotte woman mysteriously died while on vacation with a group of friends in Mexico. They've issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip, but some articles are saying that person has been arrested. Wake Up Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifying these claims.
Yeah, and this is the article that has been circulating on social media. It claims that there has been an arrest in the Shanquella Robinson case, but we want.
That's the story that they have put out there. Isn't that something? Put that out there like this and fed us this dog food.
Wanted to walk you through the article because there are some red flags here. When someone reports and shares claims that are not verified, this is how misinformation spreads.
Yep.
First, the headline suggests DeHaan Jackson was arrested in the United States. As of now, Mexican authorities have not publicly even named a suspect. They have issued arrest warrants, but haven't said who the warrants are for. Then the article goes on to say Jackson was arrested by Interpol agents. So what is Interpol? According to the U.S. Justice Department, Interpol is an international police organization which provides investigative support and secure communication between law enforcement authorities. However, the Justice Department says Interpol does not have its own law enforcement agents. The article also states the arrest was made on November 28th. However, it does not give a time. It doesn't reveal exactly where Jackson was supposedly arrested or where she was booked. In the United States, when someone is arrested, they are usually booked into a detention facility, and that information is generally public and available for reporters to refer to in their stories. We also spoke with Shanquella Robinson's father. He tells us he has not been made aware of an arrest yet. The FBI also tells us this is an active and ongoing investigation. So we want to remind you to double check what you see online and on social media. Of course, if and when an arrest is made and we can confirm it, we will send you an alert through our WCNC mobile app. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
All right.
As Shanquella Robinson.
All right. So now we totally just can put a burial and tombstone on that whole story about Dejanay being arrested. They almost got us with that one there, though. Yeah, we had a riff. Yeah, that was interesting, but that's why I wouldn't put that out there for that. All right, so how y'all still with me over here? Let's see here. Jen said dehydration without a urine test or lab test. Exactly. Because doctors, I mean, you gotta narrow, you gotta, can you just make a diagnosis? They want to keep running more and more tests before they put out a diagnosis. And to just look at a person and diagnose them with dehydration, that does not sound like something a doctor would just do. And if the person was dehydrated, you think the doctor would want them to just be hanging out without any type of medical care, especially if they were barely conscious? More contradictions. This is not doctor talk. Like, you can't be dehydrated but stable, right? Because you saw how they quickly put her in the cardiac arrest, right? Right, with that dehydration. Right, she didn't have enough potassium. Anyway, so here we go. All right, so we did the fact finding. So the first one that we got, okay, so we're gonna accept the what was that? The death certificate. So now fast forward in what was it, March, when they started getting our hopes up high again, right? They was just teasing us. They teased us with the real news coming out because we YouTubers have been going on pointing out the fake crime scene pics. We was ripping, I know I was ripping holes and all that stuff, all the fake stuff. And then they had Ben Crump come out with Sue Ann Robinson. They up there on Washington, and we feeling, we about to get some justice. Ooh, yeah, we about to get the justice. Hi, everybody excited and praising and all that good stuff, right? Then Sue Ann come back with this here letter, and on her fact-finding mission. So we see the letter that they sent to the president with this attachment at the end from Mexico, from the fact-finding little stuff there, right? So we're not going to go over the whole thing. I just want to pull it up here. We're going to just pick out one or two bones and then we can see we can pick out a few bones on the thing here, and we'll go from there. I have just a wee bit of fun here with these with these blatant lies. All right. Okay, so I know I want to do it over here, make it a little bit bigger. Let me go here. Don't do much. There we go. All right, so can I use this to make it bigger? Okay, I guess it's about to be as big as it's going to get. No, I could do better. Oh, that's not even the one I want to share. I love y'all. You guys are great. Okay, here we go. All right, so this here was March 13th, right? March 13th. Sue Ann comes out with her thing here on behalf of the family of Shanquella Robinson. We write to request immediate diplomatic intervention from the United States government. So this here should still be in play, right? Since the FBI said a no, we need to double down on this letter that's asking for immediate diplomatic interventions from the United States government in this transnational criminal case, right? So she's writing a little 2.5-page letter. It's signed by her and Ben Crump. And then we go to this here evidence. This evidence, we had already saw this sheet back in November. So YouTubers were already putting this sheet out. We look at the sheet, we analyze the sheet, we see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names here. There's a blank space here at the top. There's been some talk about a mystery person that we go down further into these here 2 statements. So it's 2 statements here, and neither one of these are the Cabo 6. The thing that is fishy about these statements is the dates. They are dated November the 19th. I'm just going to quickly go down here. And November the 17th, right? Not October the 29th when the incident took place, right? Okay. All right, so look at these dates here, right? This is the dates. November 19th, November the 11th. These are the statements of the, witnesses, right? However, we scroll on down. I'm going back and go through a little bit more of the meat of these stories, but I just want to go down to the actual autopsy from Mexico. We still looking at dates, y'all. Looking at dates. All right. So we move down here. This here is government of the state of Baja California Sur, State Attorney General Office. So right away, this has nothing to do with a forensic pathologist, as the document that we read earlier clearly states an autopsy is a procedure performed by these here physicians, right? This here talking about State's Attorney General Office. So that's clue number 1, that, this here ain't from a real doctor's office. But the big blaring, obvious dry bologna sandwich that's the elephant in the room here is that this says October the 30th. October the 30th, they were doing an autopsy report on a foreign body of an American Black woman who had yet to be claimed by her American family. So they doing the autopsy on October 30th, but the investigation and all this stuff didn't take place until November, right? So they didn't interview witnesses of, that this was a crime until November, but October 30th, hours after the demise, the decedent is gone, they, doing a whole autopsy on a foreign body. Why? Who told them to do it? Why would they do it? If there was no indication of a homicide or, foul play, why would they expect us to believe that they did an autopsy on October the 30th, right? They weren't even getting no stories until November the 17th and November the 19th. And what did they say in these statements? Nothing. What happened to the interview that Mexico said they did with two of the people that, two of the Cabo Six? Where that at, huh? Where's that interview? Shadow said, Sandra, who reserved the villa, Shanquella Robinson or Dejanay? Well, according to this here document, that's a good question. According to this here document, let me go read it now because we have a question here. This here, can I make it bigger? One day I will be, no. Let's see, Zoom. One of these are Zoom. More actions. Anyway, one day, I'll practice this on my time off. But anyway, I'm gonna just squint and read this here. This here is from interview report, November the 17th at 8:45 a.m. This is an interview from the witness and the victim. So they got two of these boxes checked. Somebody had brought this to my attention that says here, this is the witness and the victim. So could this be the two witnesses that the Mexican first told that they interviewed, that these two people aren't really the folks that work for Mexico? This here is a Day and them. This here Day and them. Here is our report, right? Because this here says that this is the witness and the victim. Okay. All right. It was suspicious there. And the information about the interviewer, the name is Sonyi Hesero Papico Million, with the title of AEIC, and the assignment is a specialized unit for the investigation of miscellaneous crimes and its jurisdiction. Wow, it's a big title. Place of interview, Criminal Justice Center, located at Cali Paleo de Arco in Pablo Escopita, Colin, Vivian, Los Verdes, San Jose del Cabo, BCS. All right, so then they say the gender is male, age 41, and say that the person is Mexican and they have a bachelor's degree and they are native of Jaysoco. All right, so then jump down to the interview here. It says, this is my statement. Get into, wait a minute, what do they say about the person who this is, the employment? Information about the interviewed party. So that's this person here. Grandi Handra. Okay. All right. So is the lieutenant in tourism customer service concierge. That is the 41-year-old person here. The concierge, 41-year-old male. This is my statement given to investigation agent Sonyi Jezreel Papaco Milian in reference to the facts that are being investigated today after informing me the reason for my presence and the interview. I have been employed by blank or Cabo's Villa in the United States, where I work as concierge in attention and customer service. I provide service assistance with doubts. I provide service assistance with doubts. I was always curious to know, what do you mean by that? So is this like the guy in prison that know how to get you out of stuff? The one character that Morgan Freeman played in the one movie where the guy goes to prison for all these years. He breaks out with a little rock. Anyway, I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, he was the guy in there that could get you everything. So this concierge who gets you stuff, anything within doubts, I got you. Got what you need. So is that what that means? Any service that is needed for approximately 3.5 years. So I'm just curious, like, why are they saying this? Like, it's trying to shift the blame off of me. Like, it's my job to do whatever the people say. Right? Well, to me, they're like trying to show how they're building the case to throw the Cabo Six, primarily Dejanay, under the bus, right? Because it's my job to do everything, whatever the customer wants, any shady business, I'm the man. I got that covered. That's what part of my job. That's what I've been doing all this time. That's me. On October the 28th, 2022, I had been informed of the arrival of some guests to the Villa Casa Linda 32, which is located in Padre Quinu, Puerto Fonderosa, Puerto Rico, Los Cabos, San Jose del Cabo, and Cali Padre Gullin. The day before I was sent a work schedule of the villa that we were to take care of as concierge. So I knew that the guests of the Casa Linda would arrive around 3 p.m. on October 28th, 2022. The main client was Dejanay Jackson. Look at that. See what I'm saying? That's how you tell a story. Look how they just setting it up right here, right? The main client was Dejanay Jackson with phone number blank. I ain't gonna say it. Who contacted me around noon by text message to report that her flight had been delayed due to weather and that she would be telling me her new arrival time, confirming me that it would be at 17:19, right? Which is military time for 5:19 p.m. So here we go with red flag number 1. They write the military time. If you write military time, you do not need to write AM or PM because it's only 17:19. So everyone who's going to read the military time will know that 17:19 is 5 p.m., right? All right, so the only reason I'm highlighting this now because when I get through some more of this story here, you're going to see how by replacing and shuffling things around, it continues to create confusion. So we see here that they are starting out talking with military time and adding PM behind it, right? So already. Then she asked me if after arriving and taking the transportation, she could stop to do some shopping, to which I responded that there is no problem. Again, okay, there's no problem. Then she told me that she would be letting me know the time they were going to arrive. She texted me when they left the shopping center. She arrived at the Casa Linda Villa around 2000 hours. I had arrived at the villa about 15 minutes before, and upon entering, I see a person of slim build, Afro-American, about 1.75 meters tall, about 25 to 30 years old, to whom I introduced myself since he asked me who I was. I told him that I am his concierge and that I will be supporting his vacation and everything he needs. Wow. How many of y'all believe he said all that? I'm your personal humble slave, and whatever you need, I am here to support you, whatever. Right? Telling him all that, right? I'm your concierge, and if butt wiping is what you require, I'm your person. Let me stop. Okay, so told him he's the concierge, he can supply all your needs. Also at the villa were Chef Blank and waiter Blank, who are employees of the company Blank and co-workers. Moments before, when I saw the guests, I was surprised, since I wasn't aware that there were guests already at the villa, to which Chef told me that two people, a couple, had arrived at the villa a few hours before. However, I only saw the male described above. I prepared my registration sheet, the information. All right, so do y'all think, let me mentally keep my marker here. Do y'all think, okay, this part here, since he prepared his registration sheet and he only saw one of the two people, since Chef's son was two, is that the reason why this is left blank for the person who was the other part of the couple that he mentioned? I lost my place. God darn it. Let's see here. Where was I at? The couple. All right, it's going to be up here somewhere. The couple here, a couple had arrived earlier. Do y'all think that who that blank space was for? Since he, covering his butt, he was another person there, so he left a blank space for that. All right, so I prepared my registration sheet, the information I have to provide to the client: guacamole, tortilla chips, margaritas, and I waited for the main client, who arrived almost immediately in traceable transport. They got off with their groceries, bottles of alcohol and tequila, put down their suitcases, started taking pictures of the villa. They looked excited. In total, 5 people arrived, 3 women, 2 of them African American, and 1 between Afro American and mixed Latino. Of them, the main one, named Dejanay Jackson, that name again, who is of sturdy build, tall, dark skin, with a thick voice. She was accompanied by 2 male guests of African American descent, both of slim build. One of them had dreadlocks. I introduced myself to the main guest, Miss Jackson, as her concierge and welcomed her. I asked her if she would like to see the villa and show her to her room, along with some of her guests and friends to decide who would stay in the rooms. We returned to the dining room to sign the documents, which consist of guest registration, insurance included in the villa, and residential complex rules, and provide a copy of each of them, registering the following. 1. Kylie Cook. All right. Sorry, y'all. I like to match the stuff up. I'm looking to catch them in lies. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Kylie Cook. 2. Malik Dryers. 3. Winter Donovan. 4. Shanquella Robinson. 5. Elise Hyatt. 6. Daisy Jackson. 7. Nazir Wiggins. Illegible. Investigation agent Sony Haswell Papico Million in this act. Okay, so let's see here. The main guest stayed in the master bedroom, which is located at the end of the living room. There are 2 rooms at the end of the kitchen, is a TV or entertainment room, then an access with an open area which connects 3 more rooms. The first room on the left, waterfront, and the other room on the right is also waterfront, and the third room, which is doubled. Now, why back in November 17th are we getting all of these details? Why? Why would this concierge person need to give all, or even feel that this information is needed to say all this setup story back in November, right? None of this was even questionable. Like, who cared about where the rooms were and the headboard, all the stuff? Who cared about it at that time? Who knew that this was going to be an issue? Right? He telling you all this waterfront being at the end of the garage. I went to the room of the main client, Miss Jackson, to mention to her that dinner was ready since 20 hours and that if it needed to be extended, they would be charged an extra hour, which she did not agree, and sent everyone to dinner since everyone was sitting in her room. Minutes later, now see here, we start off with a definite time, 20 hours, right? Now we jump down to minutes later. So they interchanging precise to vague, right? Minutes later, they all sit at the table and begin to drink a lot, right? So how long he's staying there for if they had time to come sit at the table and start drinking a lot, right? Minutes later. What did they just sit there? They just throwing them down, right? Usually look at me making a splash here. But, all right. So the story is already sounding made up. All right. So Minutes later, they all sit at the table and begin to drink a lot. That's when I met Miss Shanquella, who was the last one to approach the table to celebrate. Noticing in her strange attitude, she seemed not to fit in with the others. Again, like, what kind of statement is this? This doesn't even make sense that he would be talking about this at that time. Like he knew who okay, anyway. She didn't fit in. When I introduced myself, she did not greet me or smile. She was indifferent. Nothing to do with the atmosphere of celebration. She was out of place at the party. I made sure that they were seated, having dinner, sharing and celebrating, and that they had the information of the internet, the audio, the operations of the house. Once everything was ready, I left. All of the clients, chef blank with phone number blank and waiter blank with phone number blank, stayed in the place. The next day at 1350 or 1352 hours, I received a text message from the main guest, Miss Jackson, asking me if I'm available and which was the nearest medical service. I greeted her and asked her how I could support her. I mean, oh, come on. I bowed down. I immediately kissed her tush and wondered how I could worship more and what was it that I could do to assist. It's too much. I greeted her and asked her how I could support her and if she was looking for a hospital. She answered yes. I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and needs emergency services and someone to speak or translate in Spanish for us. I offered to send her a doctor. Okay, here we go right now. Number 1 or number 3 or whatever number it is. Says, I greeted her and asked her if I could support her, how I could support her, right? Now, according to the concierge, Dejanay informed him that she was looking for a hospital. Looking for a hospital. I think my friend has alcohol poison and needs emergency services. Emergency services. So if they got Dejanay saying she need a hospital and emergency services, how are they telling us that they told the doctor, no, don't take her to the hospital, treat her here? Make up your mind. Either they said no doctor, or which one it is. Here you said that she asked for emergency service in the hospital. This was her request. And then you said, I offered to send her a doctor so he could determine. I offered to send her a doctor so he could determine. So why then, if they got they asking for emergency room and hospital, but the concierge taking responsibility saying, I'm going to send the doctor first and we're going to let him determine. We're going to let him determine if she need the hospital. when clearly says here that Dejanay reached out to him between 1350 and 1352 requesting hospital and emergency services. All right. So the concierge is the one that said, oh no, we're going to send the doctor and let him determine. Right. So then they telling us that the doctor said, send to the hospital. And then all of a sudden the cop said, oh no. Well, come on now. Which one is it? Which one? All right. I offered to send a doctor so he could determine if it was necessary to go to the hospital. And I told her that the doctor speaks English. She answers, yes, please. I tell her that the cost is $100 for the visit plus the medicine. I ask her if she agrees, and she answers yes, as soon as possible. Again, indicating that Dejanay thinks this is urgent. Soon as possible. Emergency. Hospital. Medical service. Nearest medical service. All these keywords indicating urgent need for medical service, right? Nearest medical service. Friend needs hospital. Poisoning. Alcohol poisoning. Emergency service. Yes, as soon as possible. Right? We got all these urgent terms. Urgent terms. Around 2 p.m. on October 29th, I called Dr. Blank, who is our contact for medical attention for our guest, and whose telephone number is blank, right? So the concierge is saying at 2 p.m., 8 minutes after Dejanay called him, told him she got a medical emergency, he still wait 8 minutes to call the doctor. So Mexico really, by trying to make the Cabo 6 look bad, they making themselves look even worse, right? So you take 8 minutes before you call the doctor, who is y'all's person, right? The doctor, he just said that the doctor, who is our contact for medical attention for our guests, for the villa, right? In about 4 minutes, Miss Jackson texted me asking me what I had been told, and I answered her that a doctor is going to contact her to check her friend, and she replies, okay. So if this is 4 minutes plus 8 minutes, that's what? 12 minutes, right? So 12 minutes has gone by since the initial request for help, right? So 12 minutes then gone by and no help for Shanquella, right? So according to the death certificate, Shanquella got 3 minutes. So if this just happened, the injury just happened, and they calling, 12 minutes that went by, Shanquella got 3 minutes, right? All right. All right, so it says here about 4 minutes. Okay. Answered. Okay, so it says here, asking me what I answered. The doctor is going to check the friend, and she replied, okay. Attached to the document is a screenshot of the conversation with Miss Jackson and I, where she asked me for medical help. Oh my goodness, he's just incriminating himself. There's you sending over an attachment documenting that she asked you for medical help, and you took 12 minutes before you even tried to get, okay, you're just making yourself look ridiculous here. All right. Attached is a screenshot of the conversation with Miss Jackson where she asked me for medical help, and the conversation is recorded on 3-letter size sheets of paper attached here. At 16:25. Wow. That's 4:25. So if we're up here at 15 after 12:52, so we are at, let's see here, 8 minutes, be 2. We at 2:04. So 2:04, they finding out that a doctor is coming. So 2 hours and 21 minutes later, 16:25, blank texted me. Who's blank? All right. Blank texted me and told me that the girl has to be hospitalized. All right. The girl has to be hospitalized. Has to be. Not should be, need to be. Has to be. Because after being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized. But just listen to how elementary that sounds. After being evaluated, she had to be hospitalized. It still didn't give a reason why, right? After being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized. Okay, so after being evaluated, she has to be hospitalized. And that her friends were finding out if they had insurance. To which I asked if she was in serious condition, and the doctor said no. So who is talking to the doctor? Who asked the doctor, right? Because if he got the text from blank, who said the girl need to be hospitalized, see how they trying to, make it all vague and kind of, doing the little find the nut under the shell thing, right? At 16:25, blank texted me and told me the girl need to be hospitalized because after evaluation, she need to be hospitalized. Okay, right? So I asked the doctor, so it says here, to which I asked if she was in serious condition. So he doesn't say that he asked the doctor. I asked, I guess he's asking blank, if she was in serious condition, and the doctor said no. So how are you having to be hospitalized, but is not serious? That doesn't match up. There's never a time when you need to be hospitalized and it's not serious. You don't just get hospitalized for nothing. You don't just get hospitalized out in the field on the scene for nothing. The doctor said no, but that she does need an IV, that she is practically unconscious. This is not how a doctor would talk. These are too vague. There's no such thing as practically unconscious. You're either conscious or you're not. Being practically unconscious is not a normal state. There's never a time that a physician would say that they're looking at a patient who's practically unconscious and that's not an emergency. If you are not conscious, there's never a time that's not normal. Something's wrong if you are unconscious. That's serious. Serious. All right. So this is not a doctor talk, practically unconscious. This sounds like some people that don't know nothing about medical, this sounds elementary. This sounds like a toddler wrote it. Practically unconscious. And that's why she had to be hospitalized. Later, the administrator, okay, now we all particular with the times up here, 1625, 1350, 1352, all these times up here, we got times down. But here we go again, throwing in the vagueness here. Later, right? No, I ain't even there. Does need an IV, that she's practically unconscious, and that was why she had to be hospitalized. Later, vague right there, later, the administrator blank blank with telephone number blank called me, asked if I requested an ambulance for the villa. Right? So this here is to allude to the fact that someone in the villa called 911. They were saying that Winter called 911. So this here statement is put there to give validity to the fact that Winter called 911, right? Because it says here that blank blank called me to ask if I requested an ambulance. Blank blank called me to ask if I requested an ambulance for the villa. I told him no. He tells me that security of Puerto Los Cabos is asking him about the request and access of an ambulance to Casa Linda number 32. Later, blank called me to tell me that the guest had died. Now, how come we don't have no times here? We all with later. Later, right? 1625, you had that time down, Pat. And from this part, this is where the story starts. We got here later, later the administrator, right? While we setting up the story here, right? And then later said the girl called me. It said later, blank called me to tell me that the guest had died and asked me to go there as soon as possible, that he is already on the way to help in whatever he can. I went to Puerto Los Cabos from Cabo San Lucas after having spoken with blank. Upon arrival at the villa, I find a couple of municipal police officers talking to blank. So to me, with all these little blanks and all this stuff, these are just put here so there won't be any clarity. So you can continue to be confused or, dismayed or just, baffled at the whole thing here. Because here we go with more painting a picture here, trying to paint a picture of a story of how this whole thing was going down, right? And they want us to believe that this was the conversation, this was what they thought they should talk about on an interview that happened, it took place, weeks after the incident, right? These municipal police officers talking to blank. Why did they have municipal police officers talking to blank? Why were municipal police officers there in the parking lot area of the house and one of the guests who was African American descent, regular build, short hair. Now look here. All right, listen, I'm about to read this again here because listen how they leaving out some pertinent information. I'm going to read it again. Y'all tell me if you can, who can tell me the pertinent information that they leaving out on this part here, on this here description. All right, they talking to blank and blank, the municipal police officers talking to blank in the parking area of the house, and one of the guests who was African American descent, regular build, short hair, and coming and going from the house and calling by cell phone a relative or friend in the United States using blank as a translator. I also saw the main client, Miss Jackson, making contact with the male guest and on several occasions entering and leaving the house. During this time, I'm waiting for blank to tell me what to do, since he are my concierge team leader. So I entered the house where I initially observed the guest relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room area near the bar and dinner table. Okay, now we just move up 2 sentences before that. This sounds like some anxiety here, right? You notice guests coming and going from the house, calling on the phone to the United States, needing a translator. Saw Dejanay Jackson moving, this sounds like some anxiety here, right? Moving and grooving, can't sit still, all around the place. Now all of a sudden, they sitting in the house, calm, relaxed. Why would he think this is something to talk about at that time? Why was he noticing any of this stuff at that time? At that time. Why? He just met these people yesterday, these guests yesterday. And now all of a sudden he's coming out to see if there's anything that he can do for him. And y'all see he's going to be offering a hug and condolences and all this extra stuff when there was, a casual, you just met these people a few hours ago. And now you want us to believe that you were able to, in the short amount of time that you spent with them, ascertain this one here didn't fit in. This one here had this type of energy. This was happening, all of that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he sees them sitting there, relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room near the dinner table. My purpose was to look for the main guest, Miss Jackson, and give her my condolences. When I talked to her, I gave her my condolences. She thanked me and told me that they had talked to her friend's mother and mentioned that this was so fast to lose her in an instant for having had too much alcohol. I asked her if I could give her a hug, to which she answered yes. Why is that pertinent that you offered to give her a hug, that you wanted to give condolences? Why is this something that would be placed inside of an investigation? Why? This sounds all leading, and this is hearsay. I don't believe that he was saying all this stuff back in November. Listen to how he's painting a picture here. I asked her if I could give her a hug, to which she said yes. And she gave me a very indifferent hug, very cold. I saw a very sad guest, a skinny girl, and I saw that she was in pain. I left that area and stayed outside the main entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. All right, so you giving them space to mourn and grieve when you said up here that they were relaxed, calm, sitting in the living room, and then they were pacing back and forth, going in and out of the house, making calls, doing all that stuff. So they went from anxious to relaxed to, needing for mourning and grieving. Good heavens. They were an emotional roller coaster, right? I left that area and stayed outside the main entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. Minutes later, here we go again with these vague times, I heard laughter. Okay? I approached who told me to leave. I approached Blank, who told me to leave to go back to my villa in Cabo San Lucas, that he will be in charge of following up and supporting the clients and the authorities. All right, I'm going to read that one more time because it's going to be really important in a few minutes when this here concierge tells on himself again. All right, it says here, I approached Blank, who told me to leave and go back to my villa in Cabo San Lucas, that he will be in charge of following up and supporting the guest and the authorities. I said goodbye to the clients and I left for Cabo San Lucas later around 21 through 21:30. So around between 9 and 9:30, he's saying he left, right? 9 and 9:30, he's leaving. 9 and 9, okay, right. Is that what I said? Let me see. I said goodbye to the clients and left for Cabo San Lucas. Later, around 9 to 9:30, the main guest contacted me to request transportation to go to dinner because they had not eaten anything all day due to the situation. Okay. Now your boss just told you to take your behind home, that he got this, right? So when the client reaches out to you later requesting something, why didn't you refer them back to Blank, who you approached and told you to leave? So you working off the clock under the table for the client, and you're telling us about it because your boss already told you to clock out and go home. Right? Said here, I approached Blank, who told me to leave, to go back to my villa. Then around 9 or 9:30, the main guest contacted me to request transportation to go to dinner because they had not eaten anything all day due to the situation. So I called Blank with phone number Blank, who owns Lands End Transferring Request Transportation for the client of Villa Linda 32 to San Jose to go to dinner because they had not eaten anything. The driver advised of his departure from Villa Linda 32 and San Jose de Cabo to find a restaurant for dinner. At the end of the service, the driver with phone number blank reported via audio message on the WhatsApp chat of the Lands End Transfer group that the service had ended and that he had left the guest at the airport hotel. The next day, blank called me to tell me that the maid was reporting that there was no one in the villa. That if I had been notified that they were leaving, to which I replied no. That the day before, they had only requested transportation to the center. So later around 11 in the morning, I sent a message to Miss Jackson. Now, okay, so now this here, the next morning would be October the 30th, right? So if they talking at 11 and they down here did the autopsy, come on now. They said they did the autopsy on October 30th. That morning. Okay, come on now. How and why did y'all do an autopsy when y'all was calling up, driving services so they can go out and eat? All right. So around 11 a.m. in the morning, I sent a message to Miss Jackson to offer my support, asking if everything is okay and if there was anything I could do for it, without getting a response until the next day, Monday. Woo! Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, where was I at? Let's see here. All right, so saying that didn't get no response until Monday, October the 31st, when she texted me asking if she had to do anything else to check out. If she had to sign anything, I could email it to her as they had already left. Later, she asked me for the property manager's number. So minutes later, I sent it to her. Days later, I found out that there is a lot of controversy because of the news and the video of the main guest, Miss Dejanay Jackson, hitting her friend Shanquella, the guest who died. When I saw the video in social media, I realized that practically the main guest, Miss Dejanay Jackson, had manipulated me with the information she provided of what happened to leave the country as soon as possible. It should be noted that she put the name of Nazir as the last guest on the list of the registry. All right. So if what he said up here, where there was the municipal police officers talking, If the police were there, why? And the police were there, and y'all already sent the body for an autopsy. Why would you think it was okay? And why was it even your responsibility to let them go? The police were there. Do y'all see how none of this makes sense? The police was there. They already sent the body up here through the proper chains, right? That on October 30th, they don't even know that the guests done checked out, but they done already did an autopsy. They done already did an autopsy on this body from an American Black woman that had not been claimed, you know, by the family. They done already did an autopsy. But up here, they still waiting for them to check out. They still waiting for them to check out. But they knew that this was something that required an autopsy. Come on now, y'all. Come on. Let me read a couple more of these here comments over here and see if anybody is with me. Or y'all falling for this here banana in the tailpipe. Let's see here. Nikki said, women from YouTube Cafe of Knowledge site breaks it down. Okay. Okay, what's this here? Sandra Adji says, $250 US is 4,498 pesos. So folks got a lot of money because it was said Shanquella had 10,000 with her. Where's her purse? They brought her luggage, but no purse or phone. Folks not following the money. Yeah, good one. Let's see here. Sandra said, I think they should have offered a reward. No one is following the money. It was reported Shanquella Robinson had with her who got the refund. The villa was paid on October 31st. Well, according to this dude over here, the main client was Dejanay. That's what he said. She was the main client. Let's see here. What did the person say? Shadow said, Sandra, who reserved the villa? That's right. Well, according to this here, I mean, I remember back when this thing first happened, they were saying that Shanquella was the one that footed the bill on this thing. However, months later, Mexico saying that it was Day. So I don't really know. Don't know. Let's see here. All right. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna throw on. Let's see. Okay, I must have been up there already. Must have made it up there already. Betty says, saying some greetings to some folks up in here. All right. Oh, interesting. Sandra said the villa is owned by Americans. What happened to that talk about the villa being owned by the what they say? The the people that do the cartel. That's what they said. Interesting. Sandra say otherwise. Nikki says, oh, I did that. What's up, Ernie? Ernie says he's saying some show you right to some people here. And Sandra says, who says alcohol poisoning when someone is drunk? They treated her like it was a diagnosis. Who diagnosed her? Exactly. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Like, where'd they get the diagnosis of the alcohol poisoning if she didn't go to the hospital, right? And if there was just a doctor making house calls, what did he have? Laboratory testing stuff? What did he do? A gold top? Did he get a chemistry? Did he check? How did he know? Right? And then they said it was a she. When it's supposed to have been a he. Janice says the entire country knew that the Cabo 6-7 has done nothing but lie in Mexico and to the parents. So why would the FBI in North Carolina believe anything that those criminals said? Exactly. Nikki says, don't matter. She died as a result of an assault. It should be charges. Dejanay should be extradited. That will bust the case open. Dejanay will not go down alone. Yeah, but they ain't trying to extradite. And Mexico, now that they then heard that America is like, oh no, it's not enough evidence. Mexico is like, no comment. They ain't saying nothing. They say no comment. America say they ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing either. Everybody just cool. And now that who this didn't said this that America owned the villa, makes sense why they ain't trying to do no shutting down, right? They probably making a ton of money and didn't made a ton of money, the last 5 months. You see here, Sabrina, hey Sabrina, welcome to the channel, says, based on the video, I can go along with the first autopsy. Thank you. And it was a death certificate. And I had showed earlier, I'm gonna show it one more time since I've been going on for 2.5 hours, and maybe y'all might be new to this here and didn't get a chance to see the differences or read the differences of these the difference between an autopsy and a death certificate. So I'm gonna do this one last time. And try to let's see here. Okay, let me do this one more time here so we can see the difference. And this is why they come up with these little fake autopsies, because and this is why I'm saying that we don't even need to do anymore, is because a death certificate, it says death certificate and autopsy are two different things. A death certificate is an official document issued by a medical practitioner or a coroner that records the details of a person's death, including the date, time, location, and cause of death. It is usually required for legal and administrative purposes, such as settling the estate of the decedent, obtaining life insurance benefits, or for statistical data. On the other hand, an autopsy is a medical examination. Okay, so right at the top, we can see that a death certificate is an official document issued, right? Official document issued. An autopsy is a medical examination. Official document issued. That's why I'm saying we don't get distracted by these little autopsies from Mexico or the FBI, because the death certificate that was given to the family, that was issued to the family, the official document that was issued to the family back in November, the death certificate listed the cause of death. The severe spinal cord injury and the atlas luxation. 15 minutes after that injury was inflicted, no more Shanquella. So we don't need to hear what the FBI's autopsy report said, because it's not official. We don't need to care about what the Mexican autopsy report said, because it's not official and it wasn't issued by a medical practitioner or coroners. But the original death certificate was official document. So that is the difference, and good for you, Sabrina. That's exactly right. That's the one that you're supposed to believe. Betty says, I'm wondering if the word femicide messed up the case, because USA does not recognize that word. Mexico should or refile this word to homicide. But Betty, according to the FBI, it didn't have nothing to do with these words. They said they didn't have enough evidence. That's why they're saying there's not enough evidence to file a case. That's what the FBI said. So it didn't have nothing to do with that word femicide, right? It would have felt better at least if they said that. But to say that there was no evidence was, you know, a slap in the face. It really was. It really was. Yeah. Sharon says, everyone in chat, we have 16 in chat and only 10 likes. 50 of us forgot to hit the like button. For RN, let's help her out by hitting the like button. Yes, thank you. Let me see what these likes is looking like. I'm late on it. Yeah. 58 likes and about 83 y'all up in there. Okay, thank y'all so much. Please do hit the like button. I'm coming in for a landing. I promise I am. All right, I just wanted to bounce back there for anybody new coming in because I saw that question there or the comment saying that they were going to have faith in the original death certificate. And that's why I wanted to show you all the difference between the death certificate and also autopsy, right? And so technically they didn't even have to do the autopsy. The autopsy to me, like I said, according to this title that I'm putting out there, I believe they put that out there so they can just cast the doubt, right? So when they say they're not going to pick up the case, everybody will be like, well, you know, they waited too long to do the autopsy. What difference does it make? The death certificate had all the information right on there. There would not have been a need to do an autopsy. It listed the injury and it could give a measurable time of death after receiving that injury. That's universal. Anybody who received that injury got 15 minutes. Period. So there was no disputing that because we see the video. We see the video when all the injuries have been inflicted. And for those of you who haven't seen the video, it's all over the internet. Y'all can. I actually got some vids of it in my thing here. All right. So anyway, it's already been going over 2.5 hours. I'm gonna see if y'all got some more little questions here. I'll even drop the link if anybody want to come up and say their piece here. What this is doing to what this has done for them, what this case means to them, and all that good stuff. Or some things too that, you know, more lies that's so easy to see. All right. The link is pinned in the chat. For anybody who's going to come up here. So while I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to come up here, I'm going to read a few more of these here comments and see about coming in for a landing. Margaret says, why did USA wait so long to do their own autopsy since they evidently did trust Mexico? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe US did an autopsy because they're saying, now I got to pull up theirs. The US is bogus little autopsy here because if they, they said that they did their autopsy November the 17th when they had just signed on the case. How are they, again, they doing just like Mexico. You just signed up on the case. And now all of a sudden you've done a whole full-fledged autopsy report, yet you wait 5 months before you release the findings. They ain't did no autopsy. And again, like I said, it's just a distraction because the death certificate, the official document that was issued, clearly states severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation with a life expectancy of 15 minutes afterwards. So, Betty says, we have 6 devils running around free. Exactly. Yes. They stole her money, Sandra says. Yes. And her life. Yes. Thank y'all so much. All right, so we're gonna a few more of these here comments. Betty says, we want homicide instead of femicide. Yep. I said I hit the like button coming in. Thank you, Leonette. Appreciate that. What's up, Ernie? Ernie says, everyone, please hit the like button. Thank y'all. Y'all heard him. Hit that like button. All right, so apparently Nazir posted that they beat Shanquella until she died. What? But did he tell the FBI in Charlotte that? Yeah, I'm suspicious of these Charlotte people. I feel like they just as corrupt as the Mexican people, right? So we see that corruption in law enforcement. It's not just Mexico. Yeah. All right. So we got some greetings and some thank yous and all this stuff. Betty says, only if she was different color. So sad. Yeah. And then y'all know, maybe was it last week? Found that one video where that one white couple, they lost their adult son over there in Mexico, and they still waiting for justice. So, like I said, y'all, it's like a little scam where people take folks over to Mexico, unalive them, and just like Sue Ann Robinson said, they come run back to USA and slide in the base and say, we safe. Right? And it's worked. It's worked. It's worked before, and it appears that it's working now. But now, like I said, we own it, and we about to, we're going to Washington, y'all. Washington, D.C., May 19th. For all who can, please show the support and go show the support. I'm going to be out there showing some support. All right. All right. So Jen says, I can't say for sure, but from what I'm hearing, he's making excuses not for Cabo 6. Oh, okay. Betty says it's not difficult to vote. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And thank you for the support and encouragement. Like I said, y'all, in the description box, it's multiple links for you, for those of you who are not registered to vote and who may have been hesitant because you're not sure how to do it. Put it all here off in the description box. Just click the link and do that, because we've got to lift our voices, because that's how you make them listen to you. Like, a lot of us getting together and marching or signing petitions and all those things. It's more power when the signatures are from registered voters that could make or break a person, right? And if we aren't really exercising our right to vote, if we unite and do that, we'll be able to see some true results, because we're going to be pulling together a group of people who have been silent, right? So now we're going to be developing our voice. Shadow says, how does Nazir know they all fought her? Wouldn't that put him there on the 28th? That is a good one. A good one. Sandra says, keeping with evidence of a plan to hurt her in the U.S. before they left, a video sent out that the parents saw came from Winston-Salem University. They all graduated. Who sent the video? Yeah. Shannon says, love your channel. Love from Perth, Australia. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. I guess they trying to take the shadow off me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, you can't dam the ocean, right? So, they didn't turn it down for a little while, but eventually the sun is coming up and it's going to remove your shadow, from off of me. Karen says that Janet Jenkins, did you hear that Nazir recently posted due to threats to his mother and grandmother? What? Betty said she was R and or SA. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for those letters. I appreciate that. Janice says that, Sharon, he's out there lying again. And he also said that he haven't told what happened because the females have kids and other things going on. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Yeah. Don't do it. So if you didn't did it, you got to pay. Care about no kids. You didn't care about the kids when you was doing the thing. So Karen says at Sharon, hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Thank you. And thank you. All right. Nazir is part of the Rat Pack Cabo 6. Janice says, yes, I exactly saw this text message to someone. Okay. All right. Sharon says that, Betty. So true. The sad thing is we are experiencing other cases that getting injustice because of color. Here our ancestors fought to end racism, and in 2023, it's still a battle. Yes, and that's why we need to not only register to vote, we need to exercise our vote. And I know we could do it because I remember when I saw, like I said, I had registered back in 1992, but in 2008, when Obama was running, Black people didn't even know what his agenda was about. They just registered to vote and voted for him because he had color to his skin. And sad to say, that was the start of all of this here that's happening now. That's why I'm saying you've got to register as a Republican. The Democrats are the reason why this is all messed up like this. And people can do whatever, right? And they're taking God and the scriptures out of everything. And you can just do whatever you want and whatever you feel. And if anybody disagrees with you, they're going to be in trouble. Even if what they're saying is backed by science and the word of God, it doesn't matter. That's what the Democrats do. So yes, y'all, come together. I want to see us wrapping around the block like we was doing for Obama. Let's do that for ourselves because we have a voice. We just don't use it. Over 45% of women don't even vote. We just sitting around here waiting for these men. I'm grateful that there are men recently stepping up for women's rights and that's trying to, put a voice for these men that are I call themselves identifying as women. Like, what does this mean? How do you, there's men out there that are trying to, step up and give a voice for that. So that's why y'all gotta vote. Women gotta step up for ourselves. Can't just wait for the men to do for us because they're the ones that's in the disguises, in the disguise trying to erase you from existence. They're trying to say you don't matter. XYs aren't needed. They're calling you breeders and chest feeders and all kinds of insults. But yet, if you mention one thing, then you are a bigot. You see, Sandra says, we need to put up our own candidates. You can write in a name, I believe, on the primary ballot. Yeah, the reason why I'm saying, y'all know I've been saying Nikki Haley, if we splash everything out, right? So basically it's going to get narrowed down to the two people at the end. So by splashing it all out and, it works better when we get it focused down to like who's going to really be able to do something. We need a lot of people. We need a lot of people. Who is the candidate? Who would be the candidate? Who would be the candidate? All right. I'm just thanking y'all for all y'all support and all that good stuff. All right, so that's a good one there, though. I appreciate you. We need to put our own candidates. Yep. And so, you're right. And that's why I was saying, as far as like stepping up and, being more political and stuff, like, maybe running for council or something like that, to start by, anyway, I'm starting now by encouraging people to vote. And I hear you, Sandra. Yes, you're right. Those of you who know and you hear the voice calling, answer. Answer. Justice for Shanquella. Yes, thank you, Shannon. The officials did not do enough for Shanquella Robinson. That is correct. And just like Sue Ann Robinson said, we need high-level diplomatic intervention is what we need. Let's see here. Karen says, RN, the FBI and ME picked up the body 11/16 and performed the autopsy on 11/17. And you see, the funeral was what, the 19th? ME picked up the body on the 16th. Let me see. I'm on. Let me see here. Picked up the body on the 16th. Let me see. Because if they didn't accept the case, let me see. Let me see here. I think, let me see here. Because I don't know. All right, so let me see. I think it's on this video. See, November 17th. Let me just make sure. Let me just check one more. All right, here we go. FBI. All right. So this here, let me share. Thank you, Karen. I like when we, put the things out there so we can, file it down and just really pick out these bones. All right. So Karen says FBI and medical examiner picked up the body 11/16 and performed autopsy on 11/17. My thing, if they were saying that, they just got on the case, how do they go from accepting, getting on the case to all of a sudden doing an autopsy? Why? Why did they do an autopsy the next day on the case they just signed up for? That's pretty fast. It's almost as fast as Mexico doing the autopsy on a Sunday, on not only a weekend, but a holiday weekend, hours after the person, expired. So I just find it hard to believe that they would get on the case and immediately get an autopsy when the certificate of death, the official document, already stated the cause of death, right? Why did they perform this expensive procedure hours after getting on the case? If they got the body on the 16th, if they just signed up on the case on the 16th. All right, let's just here. This here is November the 18th.
Just into our newsroom within the past hour, we're learning that the Charlotte FBI field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation.
All right, so within the last hour or so, on November 18th, the Charlotte had officially opened the investigation. So they telling us this now in April that they picked up the body November 16th and performed the autopsy on November 17th. when, if they just got on the case November 18th, how are they have already done an autopsy?
In Cabo, Mexico, back in October.
Pull it back more so we can hear it again.
News just into our newsroom within the past hour. We're learning that the Charlotte FBI field office has officially opened an investigation into the death of a woman on vacation.
Open an investigation. So if they just officially open an investigation October 18th, we'll even just say they did it the day before and the news just got it on October 17th. How did they just open the investigation and go right to an autopsy? The parents weren't disputing the death certificate that listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. No one was disputing that. So why would the FBI have done an autopsy so soon after officially getting on the case?
In Cabo, Mexico, back in October. Now, Queen City News first brought you the story about Shanquella Robinson's mysterious death last week. As anchor Morgan Francis reports, police investigating the case are sharing what they've discovered so far.
Thursday, Mexican authorities told Queen City News Shanquella Robinson's friends lied to them about what happened to her prior to her untimely death on October 29th. An officer investigating the case says they interviewed two friends at the villa in Cabo who said
all right, so there are those two friends, right? Even they said in their little letter there that they saw, two municipal police there talking, and they even described two other friends, pacing back and forth, talking and all that stuff, right?
Shanquella Robinson had alcohol poisoning. The same story her family says they told them.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse.
It wasn't until her autopsy came back that Mexican police discovered she had a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation.
Cause of this death: severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. So that's this little tip of the thing, bob up here, this little bone here that holds the head on the body, knocked off, right? Back in November, right? Here's the free report. Here's the freebie. So why is the FBI doing this here autopsy when, they really wasn't even trying to do nothing on the case? Said, hey, it's really not our jurisdiction, but okay, we'll sign up for it, right? They ain't working that fast. There's no way. These are lies. They ain't did that.
Which is instability in the uppermost vertebrae. They also didn't see this video showing Robinson get violently assaulted until Wednesday. For that reason, their investigation is still open and they're looking into her death.
There's a huge financial incentive to keep Cabo open and to keep people feeling safe.
And that's why they just not doing nothing. They want this to be swept under the carpet. Because he said there's a huge financial incentive to keep Cabo open. It just sucks that we got these videos out here and that we the people, we ain't letting it go.
So to the extent they can find, prosecute, incarcerate the people that did this, in my opinion, they're going to try to do it.
Kurt Kearns is an international attorney with experience litigating international crimes and investigations. Some of what he has to say might not be the most promising news.
It's a sovereign state. So that's the first misunderstanding a lot of people have, is that, hey, man, if I'm an American and I'm in trouble somewhere, boy, they'll come to my rescue. And the reality is, not unless there's a really big interest internationally in coming to your rescue, because they will not upset international relations with a sovereign nation just to help out.
The police officer investigating the case tells Queen City News if they find evidence that leads to an arrest, they have authority to bring the group back to Mexico and, quote,
and that wasn't evidence right there.
They will have to answer to Mexican law. While the FBI and U.S. State Department say it's not their jurisdiction,
the FBI and U.S. State Department says it's not their jurisdiction. They were saying this back November 18th, that it's not their jurisdiction. So if they were already saying it's not their jurisdiction back in, why would they use their limited resources? FBI and state, they have resources for all these cases and stuff like that. That's why a lot of the cases go cold, because, you know, they're running out of money to do the investigation, or they don't have the funds to be able to do all this. So if they, you know, already saying, hey, it's not our jurisdiction, where'd they get the money to do this autopsy on a case that they just signed up for hours ago? All right, think about how y'all work on your job, right? When you get, you know, a new assignment or something like that, you know, are you, you know, going all the way to Z if you still need to do, you know, A, B, and C? We may not have to do an autopsy. We got this here free death certificate. It's a cut and dry case. We got the death certificate. We got the video showing when the injuries were inflicted. We got a video matching up the injuries that's listed on the death certificate. What more evidence do you need? That's why I don't believe they did no autopsy the very next day. They ain't did it. They just said here, hey, it's not, you know, that's just like when you pass by the call light that's ringing and you're like, it's not my patient, right? People say that. That's not my patient. So if it's not their patient, it's not their jurisdiction, why are they doing an autopsy? Why? For what? This ain't even our jurisdiction.
it doesn't mean they can't investigate either.
Upon invitation, FBI can come in.
Upon invitation.
And assist. Upon, invitation, the State Department can get more and more involved, but it's only upon invitation, i.e., do they want us there?
That was Morgan Francis reporting. Police again are urging anyone with information to contact the local FBI office, and they will relay that information onto Mexican.
Yeah, I'm going to submit them the video. You see, Janice says the FBI field officer in North Carolina just flat out didn't do a real investigation because all of the Cabo 6-7 should have been interrogated about what happened to Shanquella Robinson, period. And that didn't happen. You are so right. Sanders said her pelvic area was horribly attacked. It seems to me they denied medical treatment to prolong the medics from finding out what really happened. And see here, Tommy says no Republicans vote no. Let's see here, justice for Shanquella Robinson. All right. Oh yeah, I'm so far behind. Yeah, right. Y'all did all this. All right, I'm gonna slide. Y'all been talking. All right, so I'm gonna go down to the bottom and just get some folks that just showed up here. And let me see. Oh, here goes somebody. Hey, what's going on, Raw? Raw said there's a possibility that she was attacked a second time after what we saw. Hey, what's going on, Johnny? Johnny said, does that mean that the U.S. have to issue a death certificate too? No, I think that, there's probably one, like we said, it's an official document. The U.S., that's a good question. Because the death certificate doesn't have a dog, it's going to be neutral. Like it doesn't have a dog in the fight. They're just going to report the findings, the death certificate. Click back over on this really quick. The death certificate. I'm going to read it real quick. One more again. That's a good one there. They got to do it. Death certificate is an official document issued by a medical practitioner or a coroner that records the details of a person's death. So it's a medical practitioner or a coroner, right? And they're recording these details. The details was the dislocated neck, right? Official document issued. Keywords right there. Official. It's an official document issued. This here medical autopsy is not an official document. It's not an official document. So while a death certificate records the cause of death, an autopsy is a medical procedure that investigates the cause of death. In some cases, an autopsy may be required to determine the cause of death, especially when the death is sudden, unexpected, or suspicious. All right. So, so I had a few more of these and then say, oh, look at here. Dangerous. What's going on? Femicide is only for the extradition, nothing to do with the FBI investigation. Two different things. There we go with two more different things. Yeah. Like I said, all this stuff to me are just distractions to, have everybody in a circle, right? So thanking y'all so much for, helping me to keep it hot for Shanquella. And again, here we go. What's up, Giselle? I was waiting on you. There we go. Giselle got this here petition, and I dropped, look at there, 41,179. All right, so we doing some stuff here, y'all. So we dropping this off, and we're coming down there, and we telling them that we coming with voters. We're coming with voters, and we ready and willing to vote folks out. The right people up in here. Ross says, I think they should start with Elise. Oh, bet she'll sing like a canary. Maybe. All right. So I'm loving on y'all. Let's see. Tina said all they have to do is give them a lie detector test, but then the way they try to get out of the mess they created, they probably will lie and pass the way it's going this far. Yeah, I hear you. It's super sad. It's super sad. All right. So I'm just excited that we still keeping it high for Shanquella. Thank y'all. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Share the video too, so we can let them know that we ain't letting it die. It's all right. We're building it up, bringing it back. And I'll do better with, leaving some more of this stuff too. Like I said, it's good to go back and watch those old videos. And again, I'll be releasing some little chops to just keep things happening where we just drawing attention to it, stuff like that. And thank all of y'all that be coming to the those clips that I put out there in my absence. I be working hard and all that good stuff. But we working as a team together. Oh, here go another team in a while. What's up, Antoinette? All right, so I'm loving on y'all, and I will see y'all this week in another video. Tuesday. I'm off Tuesday. All right. Peace and love. And share the video. Love on everybody. And y'all analyze this stuff too, right? And continue to put out all the stuff that y'all be seeing and all that good stuff too. See y'all in another video.